There are so many benefits to you having a positive environment at your workplace, which include having like employees staying with you longer and being able to recruit top-notch employees, improved productivity, reduced absenteeism. So there's a lot of benefits to having a positive climate. I mean, think about it. Would you want to work somewhere where everything is like, generally speaking, it's busy, there's a lot of work, but people are happy and respectful towards one another? Or would you rather work somewhere where you're undervalued, underappreciated? And so what are some things that you can do? How can you contribute to a positive environment? I must say that if you are in a leadership role, this is like more prevalent to you, more important to you. It's almost like you have to create a positive culture and climate than if you are an employee. But either way, these are some things, some tips I'm going to share that will help you. Number one, show genuine interest in your coworkers and fellow employees. So it's very important to obviously remember names, even try to remember like their pets' names, their kids' names and stuff, because it does make a difference when you genuinely care about people and who they are as a person. Okay, so I'll give you a good example. I go to a place where I get my hair like blow dried once a week. When I go, and I've been going there for years, there's this one employee who's been there like a little over a year, I would say, and she has yet to learn my name. She has yet to learn that I go there at the same time, same week, every basically day of the week. I go at this on the same day, same time. She has yet to learn that, memorize that. What does that tell me about her? That she just doesn't care. But if I am going to a place and the person knows my name, knows that I live in the city, knows what time I go and what style I like, I'm gonna wanna go to that place. So, but what I'm saying is it doesn't just matter if it's like a client going into a business, it also matters when you're working with people. If I didn't take the opportunity and the chance and the time to get to know my coworkers, you know what? It means I don't really care about them as people, and it just would not add value in the workplace. You have to avoid gossip, the office politics, and the cliques, especially the cliques. Basically, this means when you have like 2 or 3 people who always want to like gather up and talk, and they always want to eat lunch with each other and stuff, right? That's a clique within your organization. So if you are a part of it, the others are going to feel like they're not part of that group, and it's just going to be a little bit, they're going to have like a distasteful atmosphere in the workplace, and that's what you're trying to avoid. In the workplace, as much as possible, you have to avoid the gossip, avoid these cliquey behaviors, try to break them apart, and also obviously the office politics if you can help it. In a very busy and a larger organization, when you're walking by people, I know that you probably have a lot of things in your mind going on in your mind. You probably have these thoughts that are running through, but you have to acknowledge people as you're walking down the halls, even if it's just a hand gesture or a head gesture, something like that, because again, it's about treating people like people, not just employees, not just coworkers, and it's basically acknowledging their presence. Little things like that add to a more positive culture and climate in the workplace. You can do weekly or bi-weekly gratitude emails. People like that. Celebrate each other. Even if your employer is not wanting to do that, you take it upon yourself to do it. Celebrate and recognize the individual values that team members bring to the organization. It really will help change things for the better and make people feel valued. And the celebrations don't have to be expensive. I mean, how expensive is it to get cardstock paper and print certificates on them? That's all it takes really to brighten up people's day and brighten up, like make them feel like what they're contributing is obviously being noticed. What helps is when there are potlucks happening. So if you want to organize a potluck or just set aside a little bit of money in the budget to say, okay, we're going to stop working for 20 minutes and eat together. Even if it's a box of donuts, it doesn't matter. That 15, 20 minutes when we're just not going to work, we're going to stop, take a breather and eat together. If you know people are having challenges and things happening in their lives, just be there to listen if they need you and just be understanding. If you have something going on in your home, maybe you're going through a divorce, maybe you're going through a tough situation with your teenage children, Just be very mindful of how you are feeling, very mindful, because you might project, without you knowing, you might project your negative feelings and your negative attitude onto others. This happens all the time, but it needs to stop, because then you are basically making the atmosphere of the place a negative one, and it's not fair to everyone else who's there most of their days, their time awake, they're at work, and it's not fair for them to have to endure the pain and suffering that you might be going through at home or personally. So my suggestion would be to talk to your coworkers. Don't have to get personal, just to say I'm going through something, in case you see me like upset or hurt or whatever. It's not really it's just something I'm dealing with, but I'm going to try my best to keep up a positive attitude when I'm here. You can do that. That might help to let them know what's happening, and not to take it personally. Create spaces that are encouraging, motivating, uplifting. So think about having some greenery, maybe some motivational posters, appreciation walls, because indirectly those types of things do help to lighten up the space and make it more alive, and also make it seem like, you know, everybody there is appreciated. Celebrate holidays, celebrate birthdays. Promote self-care in and out of work. Once a month, if you could, go over your organizational values, so that you guys are promoting kindness and respect, and that you're not going to tolerate employees treating each other disrespectfully. And by the way, if they do, that needs to be addressed with immediately. So even if it's somebody doing something wrong, okay, then it doesn't give the other person the right to like go off on them. Here's an example. Let's say you have a coworker named Sarah. Sarah goes, opens the fridge, and takes some snack that belongs to another employee and eats it. Let's say like a yogurt bar or something. Then this other person sees it and goes off on Sarah in front of everyone and says, "How could you do that?" Was Sarah wrong? Yes, she stole somebody's food without permission. But it does not mean that whoever is yelling at her has the right to yell at her and belittle her in front of others. So that kind of treatment needs to be dealt with, especially if you are in a leadership position. Even if it's outside of your comfort zone to praise people, maybe that's not how you were brought up as a child, or you were praised for the things that you did, it doesn't matter. You need to get over that, and you need to verbalize and show people appreciation. So somebody does something awesome, say, you know what, I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you coming in on the weekend. I appreciate you staying late for 5 minutes to help us out with something. You have to be able to verbalize things, because that goes a long way with creating a positive atmosphere at work. Try to bring like some kind of a snack or even drinks and things to any kind of a staff meeting, office meeting, because that helps too to break the ice. People often feel like, oh, they care that I'm a little hungry right now, and they brought little snacks. Nothing expensive. A little bit goes a long way with a lot of employees. Very important to recognize newcomers and help them to acclimate in that positive, happy culture. So how you bring in and show employees how things are done and how they should be done is very important. When somebody walks in the door, how they're treated, the smile, the words that the employees use, it makes a huge difference. Recognize employees' events that might be happening outside of work that you want to celebrate. So for example, when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I was working in a financial office, and it was so nice. All the employees, they had chipped in, and they just got me cake. Nothing expensive, no, it was just sheet cake. And they sang for me, and it just meant so much that they recognized that this was a big thing that I accomplished. I got my bachelor's degree. Okay, I think I've shared a lot. There's a lot more. I'm going to share a link in this video that has like 25, 30 different strategies for creating a positive atmosphere. I was only able to share some in this video. Please click on it, make sure you check it out, and I will catch you in the next video.